I truly got up very excited to interview Stephen K. Hayes on the Empower channel. How could someone be so lucky? Hey, look, publications and organizations, Master Hayes, has labeled you a legend, like one of the 10 living legends of the whole martial art world. That's sure putting you way up on a pedestal, whether you like it or not. I know you've spent your life studying Asian martial arts and the spiritual traditions. You've been to Tibet, you've been to China, you've been to India, uh, you've been to Japan, and you really kind of cultivated the internal essence. I know you're in Dayton, Ohio. I know you have the Quest locations, a brilliant network. And I'll talk a little bit more about how people can hear your message ongoingly. But right now, you're a man that cares about the martial arts. We want to know what you're thinking about because there's some unsettlement out there. As a martial artist, I'm not sure of my identity. I'm rattled right now. I'm not feeling as secure. 3 weeks ago, I was on 100 miles an hour. Now I'm rocked back on my heels. I've got hit and I'm dazed. Now, your core values has been incredible. With all the people you've touched, tell us how those core values, what you're thinking about, the coping skills I might need. Where should I be mentally and spiritually? What would you say?
Well, I think there may be three areas, and I'll go over the first area real fast. And that would be, 3 weeks ago, everybody was on top of the world. We're paying our rent, we're paying our taxes, we're paying our staff, and then boom, government comes in and shuts us all down. And, there could be a sense of panic. Hey, where am I going to get all this money? And I think there are probably other people more skilled and knowledgeable than I would be on coaching people through, maybe how to negotiate your lease or, this type of a thing. The second thing that I could comment on, I think be of some value, would be what is my role in these people's lives? I think a lot of us may think, oh, I'm teaching physical skills, and we use words like focus and concentration, but I mean, really, how do we teach that? Maybe our students want us to be a real guide in their lives. This is the second area. I mean, this is my experience. John, do you find that to be true?
I think that people it's like another peg in the tent. They want to see their martial art instructor, their life coach, their mentor in a certain way. So yes, we want to be authentic. What would you say as opposed to like your role right now? You've been talking about core values for a lifetime. What are a couple core values that I out there as a school owner with my hands cuffed right now need to think about and rehearse mentally? What comes to your mind?
Well, that's actually the third area that I was going to refer to, and that is personal development. We got a couple more weeks of this we've got to get through, hopefully. What can I do with this time? What can I read? What can I study? Because again, I think, to go back to the second point, our students expect us to be bigger. They expect us to live the life that they aspire to living. And so if I'm down there in the trenches arguing or wheeling and dealing with people about money, or expressing, oh, we might not even be here, and this blows over. This is not what the students want to hear. They want to hear a sense of well-being, a sense of I've got this under control, even if you have to fake it a little bit, really. So yeah, you've got to deal with the pragmatic, and you've got to recognize your role in the students' lives.
Mm,
You're much bigger than just a technique salesman.
mm,
And the third part is you have to actively seek out more knowledge. I mean, read the classics. Nobody reads anymore, but
mm,
you're a martial art teacher. You're different. You're special.
mm,
Uh,
mm,
read the classics. Go online. You can find a shortened version of the classics. Really, what is it to be an authentic human being
mm.
committed to encouraging other human beings, to be the best they can be?
Brilliant, really brilliant. Because I need to navigate my way through this. I'm on uncharted waters. I feel like I love and I'm passionate about this, and I don't want it to stop, and I don't want it to be threatened. So when you're teaching on the mat and you feel a little threatened from a standpoint of working with a partner, what's your mentality, and how is that mentality on the mat parallel or similar to what we're going through right now? What would you say?
Well, I don't think when we are through this, I don't think we're going to go back to what we were before. I think people are just going to be a little more nervous about contact with each other. It's going to phase in, and I think we're going to be in a different place
Mm-hmm.
for quite a while. So our martial art, I'll just talk about our martial art, is very training partner oriented. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like judo. How do you do judo by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Very training partner oriented, and we will have to go to allow people a little more space. Maybe we imitate the karate people, where you can do some form work and or work on targets, ease people back in. So I think that's
Mm-hmm.
one consideration. We'll have to change. We'll
Mm-hmm.
have to change. Um, the other thing is maybe we're finding online training is suddenly appeals a lot more to people. A
Mm-hmm.
lot more to people. You can train in your house with your spouse or your kids whenever you want. Uh, so I don't think this online training is going to disappear when we come back. If not,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be even bigger.
Mm-hmm. Anshu, let me ask you, Anshu Hayes, let me ask you this. You talk about the warrior mentality. You studied the Asian martial arts. And so when you think about the warrior mentality mentally, where does that take you that could
Mhm.
relate to everybody that looks up to you? What is the warrior mentality of maybe poise or patience? What does that mean to you right now?
Well, that, John, that is really something that has motivated me since the 1960s, why I got in the martial arts. And the martial arts was a completely different world in the 60s and 70s. So I define it for my friends who follow my teachings. The warrior mentality is not a person who goes out and makes war.
Mm,
Um, every day we're at war with something. We're at
mm,
war with insecurity. We're at war financially. We're at
mm,
war with who we are, different
mm,
options. We are at war, and to embrace that, to enjoy that. Hey, I'm going to win. I'm going to find
mm,
out. I'm going to win. And then as martial art teachers, we have to communicate that to our students. Every
mm,
person has a challenge. Everyone has a challenge. You take the most wealthy, famous, gorgeous Hollywood celebrity, and if you sat them down at a
mm,
table
mm,
and you really talked with them, I guarantee you they'd say, "Oh no, this is hard.
mm.
This is really hard. It's rough."
This is
Everybody has something they're battling. So, warrior, and we as martial art teachers are
mm,
encouraging people how to think that way, how to get
mm,
through these problems. We use codes and creeds and so forth. Maybe as opposed to a fighter. Fighter is somebody who's just going to beat somebody else. Maybe they win millions of dollars, or maybe they win the approval of their buddies, and anywhere in between there. That's not what I'm teaching. That's not what I'm teaching. I'm more this idea of how can I serve and protect, help, and encourage other people.
Preserve and protect, help, and encourage other people is what you've really done for a lifetime. And you, that's why they say one of the 10 legacy holders in the world, because you've done that all your life. You've done it all your life, and you've done it with fidelity and passion, and you've never stopped. You and Rumiko have never stopped as a partnership, helping the cause, moving it forward, loving the martial art community. And I wanted to say that you had foresight like 8 years ago. You had online training with Tushindo. You got curriculum, you got principles, you got management guides, and that's all under ninjaselfdefense.com. Ninjaselfdefense.com. And it's a restricted area, but there's different levels where you can impart. You're helping people around the world. And some of these veteran martial artists, they can also learn online to help their beautiful art being exposed around the world. This is a time not to think parochially or locally, but globally. The mind is infinite. The learning opportunities are omnipresent. In closing, what message would you like to leave us with of hope and inspiration, aren't you?
Well, this Ninja Self-Defense, in the past couple of weeks, we're even thinking of maybe changing that URL, because there are some people who say, I don't want to be a ninja. And no. What we're offering is non-denominational martial art success. So maybe another word, we'll let people know.
Great.
This is for everybody. I'm taking all the 50 some years of my experience and offering it things that have worked for me. And I've been criticized. I've been ridiculed, criticized, people who don't agree with me, and I don't know, maybe a little afraid of what I'm saying. Well, that's fine. There are people who will listen. And I think that's it. The codes, the creeds, even our physical movement matches the self-development from the mind and from the heart. It's all integrated, and we'd sure love to share that with everybody, even those who don't want to be a ninja.
Great. I can't tell you how grateful we are for all the years of service, you and Rumiko. Thank you so much. We're embracing your integrity and your fidelity and your devotion. And, by Zoom, we're giving you a hug. So thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, will you? We want you to do it for many, many more years. Promise me, will you?
I figure I got about 30 more years. So great talking with you today, John. I just thoroughly enjoyed it.
The Empower Channel thanks you. Have a great day.